morning, everyone. I know it's been a very, very long day. I will not bore you more. I will keep my session very, very short. So my session is, invisible thread. As a marketer, that's something which has inspired me over the period of time, that do this funnel really work? Do this funnel really work, which we all believe in? A nation which is 1.4 billion, 20 plus languages, half of the population under the age of 35. In fact, almost 50% under the age of 25. Do they really, really understand the way we talk today as a marketers? Now imagine the biggest challenge which all of you, including me, needs to go through. How do we connect to them? How do we inspire them? How do we let them do what they really, really want? And on top of that, this young generation lives very differently, consume very, very differently. They live today on Instagram. They don't look ads. They don't look, banners. They consume reels. Their attention span is just 8 seconds. They consume content every day, which is 300 feet plus, which will give run for his money to the Eiffel Tower in a day. That's the Gen Z I'm talking about. This brings me to a very, very important question. Think about the last time you would have brought something very, very significant, not your grocery or your morning coffee, something you really researched about. And imagine what you were tracked through. You were bombarded with the shoes or the software packages of travel you did not want it to go to. Do you really wanted that? If we don't, imagine how we are doing and what we are doing to our consumers, which is this lookalike theory. What are we living in today's world is the biggest marketing paradox. We build the most sophisticated engine, one of the best search engines, one of the best targeting engine. But at the end of the day, what's happening? We all are losing the trust of the consumer. I think most of you will echo this language. That's yes. In today's difficult world, with the new brands coming in, the rise of D2C, the authentic content storytelling, we are losing the trust. And that's because the consumer is exhausted. They are bombarded with the content. They are not able to retain it. The old playbook brings me to a very, very important question. Is it still working? Because this model is broken, in my parlance of marketing. For centuries we have tried to perfect that perfect offer, that perfect communication to the consumer, that perfect storytelling to the consumer. But is it really helping us today? That brings me to an idea of this invisible thread. And I will leave you with these 3 invisible threads, which brings the biggest motivation, connection to the consumers. This is a subtle way, you can today break out of the spreadsheets. Because the reality is, a consumer believe rediff word greater than $1 billion ad on India-Pakistan match. So first, let me introduce the concept of from audience to community. And I will throw some example from my learning out of Samsung, what I learned and what I really, really, over the period of time, evolved, that how we should change and classified our marketing engines into the subsets of the generations, and that's where the concept of galaxy of possibilities was born. Under my leadership, I created this concept called galaxy of possibilities, and the whole concept was, if I can make a gamer play, if I can make a creator create, if I can make a teacher teach, my job is done. It is not about selling the Galaxy Fold 7. It is about empowering people to do more and be more every day in their life. Now, going back to the concept of audience to community, something which has really helped over the period of time with the AI engines being implemented is about creating a culture. I met a friend who's from HP. I met Mayuri, who's from Dell. We all sell laptops, everybody in the month of May go back to the old playbook, back to school. Let's give offers. Let's give student offer. Let's bring students to the store. And when you really challenge that concept, and Mayuri, great you have walked in. I love your campaign this year. That brings me to a very, very fundamental question. When I went and met some of the young Gen Z, their answer was, don't tell me how it's done. I will show them how it's done. I'm not taking my laptop for teaching. I will create music out of it. I will play games out of it. And that gave a very, very big dipolar shift into show them how it's done. We create this creator jam at our cafes. We have the world's largest Samsung cafes run out of the Opera House, Bangalore, where we get 500 odd creators to create content, and we call this a creator jam. Now, that's where I build a concept of a community. Today, I live every day, not with an ad, but galaxy of gamers, galaxy of creators. And trust me, it helps to connect that last dot emotionally. I go back to the concept. 70% of Gen Z buy after watching a video. They will see which lipstick or what product to buy after they see it on YouTube. Our ads are not working. Brings me to the second important thread, from promise to proof. The thinnest, the lightest, the fastest are the passes. Show me what you can do. Prove me what you can do. And that's where I believe in you. Good old days, all of us, the way, 20 years back, if I reflect, most of the marketers, our entire department was department of promise. We promised consumers the quality, the results, the happiness. Today, we are the departments of proof. Show me whether your campaign will work or not. That's the first proof we all need to give to our management. But today, trust is earned. Trust is not given. Don't buy this jacket of Patagonia is a classic example to work today in this world, that don't tell me what is to be done. I will decide and I will evaluate and I will. Your brand is a human identity. Put a human face to it. Put a face to it where people can relate to what I am talking to. Brand keys, brand personas, gone are the days when we will meet a consumer and say, I feel this brand is like Amitabh Bachchan. Today, there's a name for that brand. There's a person for that brand. So brand persona, brand connections are extremely important. The second thread I repeat in my cloth is put proofs, not promises. Last but not the least, from campaign to conversations. We can build the best campaigns running out of millions of dollars, but at the end of the day, it just drills down to what people write on Rediffs and Quora. Whether they connect to what we say emotionally, functionally, or it is just about a marketer ego like me, that this campaign was great. It connected the dots, what I wanted. Or some creative heads saying that emotions are the one that sells. The brand that wins are not the one with the fastest Super Bowl ads or the biggest marketing budgets, are the one who are authentic today in their storytelling, are the one who brings human story out. Over the years, I've learned it very hard way that if I can show what people do it with Galaxy, how Galaxy is empowering their life, how I transform a guy from Assam to, have a part of a Galaxy Gamers program and go on to the esports event and win a FIFA esport event silver for India. That story is far more empowering and powerful than putting $1 million over a face and saying, buy me. I will not bore you guys more, and I will end with the last part of my speech. The future of marketing won't be with the biggest brand or the smartest algorithm which we all build. Will be with the invisible thread, which is not seen in every day. Conversation, community, conversions will be the 3 C's which will replace the 4 P's in the future. So thank you very much for patiently listening to me, and I request all of you to look for that invisible thread in your environment. Thank you very much.